How's it going out there, YouTubers? Cyberneticshark here with another new tribute video for you. So let's get right in this tribute and see who it's about. Sadly, yesterday, we lost an awesome American icon, Mr. Robert Guillaume. Now, Robert Guillaume was born in 1927 in St. Louis, Missouri, and he had a great and illustrious Broadway, television, and film career. He was just an awesome person, too, that did a lot for the communities and also was just a really awesome person. He actually was an amazing artist, I feel. I mean, his Broadway and stage presence really showed through in his films and his TV shows. Now, a lot of people might recognize Mr. Robert Guillaume that, who were around or even watched during the 80s and the late 70s, the great show Benson. Now, that's what he's really known for. A lot of people recognize him for that were born, between the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s. Or I should say early 80s. But also, a lot of people that were born, in the late 80s, early 90s might recognize him as the voice of the awesome Rafiki from The Lion King. Now, Robert Guillaume has had an illustrious career, like I said, and it was just an amazing career, and he left us with a ton of awesome films to watch that, we can always remember him by, and also to see how talented of a person he was. And like I said before, his stage acting really brought through in his TV shows and movies. I feel in one of his films that really came through, and that was in the film Lean on Me with Morgan Freeman from the 80s. That film was just such an amazing film. It was considered a huge Oscar-nominated type of film. It was considered a huge success for its time, and Robert Guillaume just did an amazing job in the film and really showed his stage chops in that film, along with Morgan Freeman. And he was just an amazing comedian as well. I enjoyed his comic timing in a lot of films that I've seen, and I always loved how kind of deadpan and serious he always kind of played characters. Now, a few other movies I feel that were such amazing films that he was in were such films as the Sinbad film from the 90s, First Kid. That was such an amazing movie, and Robert Guillaume was just so awesome in it. He kind of plays like the main guy that's like in charge, that's the more, this is how you're supposed to do things, but yet Sinbad like kind of doesn't listen to him while trying to take care of the first kid. And he's kind of like the serious note, the little angel on your shoulder saying, "Not do that now." And he was just really fun in that film. He also was in an awesome movie from the 80s called Death Warrant with the awesome Jean-Claude Van Damme. Now, he actually was in quite a few of those like action movies back in the 80s, which I found really funny. And I was like thinking to myself, I'm like, really? He was in that? I'm like, really? I totally don't recognize him in those movies. And then I'm like, that's right, he was in that. And I'm like, and I loved him. Another great film that I thought that was one of his best films, that was just an awesome film, is the awesome 1993 film with Robert Townsend, The Meteor Man. He was absolutely awesome in that film. Another one that showed his acting chops, I thought. I just thought it was a really funny film, and I thought Robert Guillaume really brought a lot of flavor to the film. Another great film that I thought was a great comedy-like parody type of film that Robert Guillaume was in that I just think was really awesome was also the great Leslie Nielsen film from 1997, I believe, or 96, and that's Spy Hard, which was a really funny movie. Another comedy one for Robert, and I thought he was so funny in it, and I loved him in comedies because he really was good at it. Another great TV movie that he was in back in the 80s, or it could have been the late 70s, I'm not 100% sure. But he was in this great Civil War TV show movie called North and South, and he plays, I believe, one of the black slaves in the film, or even he could be one of the African-American type of soldier in the film, if I remember correctly. It's been so long since I saw the movie. But he was so amazing in that film, too, and that showed his dramatic chops. And He really played a really good role in the film, and it just showed the stage presence, like I said, his Broadway abilities. It really came through in that film with his dramatic performance, and he was so good at dramatic type of acting. He was a huge inspiration to so many people today. He was an inspiration to many actors and actresses. A lot of people, they were very sad of hearing of his passing because he was just such an amazing actor and person. Like I said, he's been in so many different movies and shows and on Broadway and on stage, and he was just such an amazing, character actor. And, his voiceover work of Rafiki in The Lion King and its subsequent sequels was amazing too. So many kids that were born around that time frame, they hear Robert Guillaume like, oh, Rafiki, And, I mean, he has such an awesome legacy that it's just going to go on forever, and people are going to remember him because he's so, amazing, and was so amazing, and just everything he did, he put a wonderful, awesome mark on it. I mean, Benson, for instance, he started that character on the show Soap originally, and Benson was a spin-off of the Soap character, and actually garnered him 2 Emmy Awards. For that. He also got a Tony Award, or was nominated for a Tony, for some of his Broadway work that he did. I mean, he is amazing. He was so awesome, and he was such a loss to the community when, he passed away yesterday. And just, his work will live on, like I said, in, the awesomeness of, people remembering him and just enjoying his work, all these awesome things he did. He did another awesome, funny film, I think, that's a sequel, and that's a sequel to the Superfly movie, and he played a character in the sequel, and I thought that was so super funny. Those, black exploitation films back then was just so funny. But he was an amazing actor and just an amazing person, like I said, and he was such a huge part of my growing up movie knowledge. He just was part of that. I grew up during his prime, and a lot of his movies got me through my life during those times and helped me to, learn about the film industry, to learn about all this coolness that has to be involved with being in the film industry. And, a lot of his work really made me want to be in the industry, and why I keep progressing to try to do that. And I thank him for that, because he just was an awesome actor, director, writer, everything that he did, and just was an awesome person. So he was such a huge loss to the community. Just an amazing talent, and he will very sorely be missed. So that's it for this tribute videos, guys. As always, thank you for liking, thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing. And if you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and hit that button so you don't miss one of those awesome movie reviews or any type of video I make, people. And as always, keep your eyes out for any old or newer videos you might not have seen of mine yet. And as always, check out that awesome link down below for the awesome Horror Pack. Now, Horror Pack is an awesome subscription that you can get right to your door of either 4 awesome Blu-rays or 4 awesome DVDs of horror goodness. Now, also, this awesome pack comes with limited editions that only Horror Pack provides. So you can't get these anywhere else. And they come in certain boxes, so you have to be subscribed to find them out. So if you're interested, let me know down in the comments, and I'll hook you up with an awesome code for an awesome discount on your first month subscription. And as always, catch you in the next one.